All right, so let's find a comfortable seat. We'll begin by rubbing the palms of our hands together, bringing focus and energy into the palms. And then take the fingertips and gently brush them across the forehead, temples, and cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. And let's gently float the hands down. You can keep your eyes closed or open them with a gentle gaze downward. Extending the spine up tall, the shoulders fall back and down. Lifting the heart with each inhale. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. Really letting yourself feel rooted and grounded. And opening up with the inhale as you lengthen up. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. We'll take a deep breath in. Oh. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning and set an intention for your practice. Something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within your life or yourself. And we're still in the glow of the new moon, or the anti-glow with the darkness of the moon. It's a great time for setting intentions, both for the things we want to work toward as well as things we want to let go of. And this current new moon is about creativity and communication. Bringing your awareness back to the breath, allowing each inhale to bring you to the room where you are in this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. And with your next inhaling breath, allow the belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening. With the exhale, gently contracting. With your next inhale, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm. Expand, open, contract, and relax. With your next inhale, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding your lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. As we continue this full deep breath, let's move into Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breath. You can bring the right hand, pointer and middle fingers between the eyebrows, ring finger and thumb on either side of the nose. If you prefer, you can also tuck those fingers into the palm of the hand. Taking a breath in and out. With your next inhale, gently close the right nostril and inhale through the left. Switch and exhale through the right. Inhale right. Exhale left. That's one full round. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Continue following your body's rhythm with this pattern. Balancing the right and the left sides of the body. balancing the heating and cooling of the body. And also supporting the immune system. Let's do one more round. When you've completed the exhale on the left side, you can gently float your hand down and return to your natural breath. Taking a moment to notice any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. Bringing your awareness back to the right hand, allowing the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. Bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart. Looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down, gently open your eyes. And if you'd like to switch your legs or change positions, please go ahead and do that. With your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. Exhale, press them back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. We'll inhale the hands in front of the chest with the palms facing down. And tuck the shoulder blades back and down, really thinking about strengthening the muscles around the scapula, holding it in place. One of the first things I notice when I'm stressed is my shoulders scooching up. And so if we can really work on drawing those down, strengthening those muscles, that can help relieve some of that tension. Now let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, thinking about squeezing the center of the shoulder blades together, wringing out tension there. And then we'll open the arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart a little more if that feels okay. And think about squeezing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. If it feels okay, you can flex the wrists, pressing through the palms. And then bringing the arms in front, let's cross the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back or left hand around the right wrist. Lifting the elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Breathing into the upper back, gently pressing the elbows away from the body, allowing the jaw and the neck to be soft. If it feels okay, you can begin to lower and lift the elbows, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhale, if it feels okay, you can, gently arch. Hands falling forward. Again, listening to your back, only going as far as feels okay. And with your inhale, come back to center. Unwrap the arms open wide. And then bringing the arms in front again, this time left over the right. Bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or right hand around the left wrist. Dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms together, pressing the elbows away, breathing into the upper back, allowing the jaw and the neck to be soft. And then gently lowering and lifting the elbows if that feels okay. And with your next inhale, lifting up, gently arching. Again, listening to the body, coming forward with the exhale if that feels okay. And then lifting back to center and unwrapping the arms. And let's kind of roll the shoulders up and back and down. We'll interlace the fingers, press the palms out in front, roll the shoulders forward, drop the chin around the spine. Inhale, lifting, gently arching. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin. Softening the elbows, roll the shoulder blades back toward each other, gently squeezing the upper corners of them together. Breathing into the back of the neck, gently letting go. Notice if your jaw is clenched and soften if it is. And really squeezing those shoulder blades, wringing out Any tension through the trapezius muscles that go across the shoulders into the neck. And if it feels okay, you can press the palms up a little higher. Just listen to your body. And with your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, float the hands down. Let's bring the left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Face forward, deep breath in, lifting the heart. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the right. Head comes around last. Lifting the heart with your inhale, gently twisting through the exhale. Hold and breathe. Keeping the left hand on the knee. With your next inhale, bring the right arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Dropping the right hip toward the mat, lift the heart. Reaching those fingertips across the ceiling. Breathing into the right side of the body, gently letting go and opening. And with your inhale, lift up tall. And exhale back to the center. Take a breath in and out. We'll bring the right hand to the left knee, the left hand behind the left hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left, head comes around last. Lifting the heart with the inhale. Exhale, gently twisting. Releasing anything you no longer want to take with us. Finding that edge between flexibility and inflexibility. And with your next inhale, oh, sorry, I was gonna have you do something different. But with your next inhaling breath, bring your left arm up by your ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Lift the heart, drop that left hip toward the mat. Fingertips reaching across the ceiling. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale back to the center. Let's extend our legs out in front of us. We'll bring our feet down toward the end of the mat. Lifting the spine tall. Think about engaging the quadriceps to draw the kneecaps up, engaging both the inner and outer quads. Flexing the feet, toes pointing upward. And if it feels okay, you can engage those quads a little bit more to gently lift the heels off the floor. Trying not to hyperextend the back of the knee. It's kind of finding that edge between that flexing and hyperflexing. Your hands can rest on the legs or on the floor, or if you feel like you're kind of rounding forward, you can bring them back a little bit to help you open your chest. Reaching through the heels, lengthening through the spine. And with your next exhale, gently soften. Inhale, lifting the arms up. Exhale, folding forward, listening to your body. Hands on the legs, floor, or feet. Really being careful with those hamstrings and low back. with this first forward bend. With your next inhale, lengthen the spine, pressing the hips behind you, reaching through the crown of the head. And as you exhale, gently soften where it feels okay. Sending the breath to those places of tightness or tension, allowing ease and softness rather than forcing. You can think about tilting the pelvis forward, lifting the tailbone behind you as you reach the spine out over the legs. Noticing how that shifts where you might be feeling some of that stretch or release. And with your next inhale, let's lift up tall. Bringing the hands behind the hips a couple of inches with the fingertips pointing toward the hips. You can work with inclined plane or reverse table. So for inclined plane, keep the feet together, lifting the hips here. For reverse table, we'll bend the knees, feet about hip width apart, lifting here. Finding what feels right for you today. With your next inhaling breath, lift the hips high, keeping those elbows slightly bent. Exhale, gently lower and hover if that feels okay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. This time, hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue going up and down. Pressing the hips high, head extends out from the spine, or draw the chin toward the chest. Don't have it dropping back on the shoulders. And with your next exhale, we'll lower down and shake out those wrists. And then let's lower the rest of the way down onto our backs. Gently scan up the body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Lengthen through the neck, shoulders tuck under. Keeping the left hand on the knee, allow the right arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And as you exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body. Vision toward the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Releasing the muscles around the hip. Easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Extending the leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle. Stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel, gently arch the low back, letting the sitting bones drop down. And with your next exhale, tuck the pelvis, drawing the belly muscles down, and draw the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. You can stay here, or with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And stay here, hold and breathe, or continue coming up and down. Reaching through the heel, belly muscles draw down, neck is nice and long. And if you'd like an additional challenge, you can flex the left foot, lift it an inch or two off the floor. And if you want a little more, you can release the hands. Keeping the neck nice and long, belly muscles are doing the work. Lowering the left leg. With your inhale, lower the head and chest. And as you exhale, slowly lower the right leg. Once you reach the floor, take a deep breath in and out. And we'll bend the left leg, floating the hands to the knee as you draw it in toward the chest. Shoulders tuck under, neck is nice and long, softening around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, allow the left arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And with your exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Vision toward the left arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Releasing the muscles around the hip. Easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. Extending the leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. As you exhale, toes reach toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath. Releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel. Gently arch the low back, dropping the sitting bones down. And with your next exhale, tuck the pelvis, drawing the belly muscles down as you pull the leg toward the torso just as much as feels okay. Stay here. Or with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down, reaching through the heel, belly muscles draw down, lengthening through the neck. And again, if you'd like to add a little extra challenge, you can flex the right foot, lifting it an inch or two off the floor, staying here, or releasing the arms. We'll lower the leg down, releasing the head toward the floor. And with your next exhale, gently lowering the left leg. Taking a deep breath in and out. Let's bend the knees, placing the feet on the floor. Roll the shoulders under, bringing the arms alongside the body. Rooting the feet down as one end of our bridge, shoulders back and down as the other end. And with your next inhale, begin to scoop the pelvis, gently rolling the spine up, one vertebrae at a time, coming up to the shoulders. As you exhale, roll the spine down, keeping the knees parallel to each other. Inhale, scoop and lift, rolling the spine up. Exhale, rolling down. Inhale, scoop and lift. This time, if it feels okay, you can hold and breathe, or again, continue coming up and down, listening to your body, or rest. If you're holding, think about pressing those hips high. You can also roll the shoulders under, interlacing the fingers, pressing the palms toward each other. Walking those elbows in as much as feels okay and lengthening the arms. But really listen to the body. Keep the palms close together to protect the wrists. And if there's too much pressure on your elbows, keep those elbows bent. Pressing high through the hips, knees parallel, breathing into the heart. And listening to your body. When you're ready, you can unlace those fingers, roll the shoulders out, gently roll the spine down. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, tuck the pelvis, pressing the low back into the mat. Inhale, soften, gently arching. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. And let the breath go. Let's cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Gently pressing the right knee out to the side if that feels okay. You can stay here or lift the left foot off the floor, taking hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Gently flexing the right foot as you draw the left knee toward the body just as far as feels okay. Lengthening through the neck, softening the shoulders. Send the breath to the right hip, releasing any worries or frustrations stuck in the hip, allowing them to float away on the breath. And with your next exhale, gently lower. We'll switch legs. Right foot on the floor, left ankle crosses over the right thigh. You can gently press the left knee out to the side, or lifting the right foot off the floor, take hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Flexing the left foot, gently draw the right knee toward the body just as far as feels okay. Again, lengthening the neck, softening the shoulders, and sending the breath to the left hip. Letting go any anger or anxiety stuck in the hip. Releasing it on the breath. And we'll gently release. Let's bring both knees over the torso, hugging in, lengthening through the spine, breathing into the low belly. I want you to, with your next exhale, engage those lower belly muscles. Notice how that feels. Soften with the inhale. Exhale, engage them. Soften with the inhale. And if it feels okay with the next exhale, engage them, lifting the head toward the knees, or just continue to keep the head down and engage the lower belly. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, engaging the lower belly and lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, engage and lift. Let's do 2 more, following your breath. And then just take a couple of breaths, resting here in Apanasana. From here, you can either roll to your right side, pressing up with your hands, or slip your hands behind the knees, kick the feet over the head, and gently rock up. Then let's come forward onto our hands and knees. If you'd like a blanket underneath your knees, please feel free to add that. We'll bring our hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, softening the elbows so the inner elbows are facing each other. Extending the head out from the spine and drawing the belly muscles up toward the back in strong table pose. With your next inhale, lift the tailbone, drop the spine, lift the chin. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, round the spine, drop the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Do one more. And with your next inhale, coming back to table pose, softening those elbows, head extends out, belly muscles draw up. Let's reach back through the right leg. Dropping the right hip slightly so the hips are parallel to the mat. Flexing the right foot and engaging the muscles of the leg as you reach back through the heel. Thinking about keeping that right hip stacked over, that's left hip stacked over the knee instead of collapsing to the side. If it feels okay, you could lift the leg a little higher, engaging the glutes on the low back. Lift the heart. And if it feels okay, extend that left arm out. Let's float the hand down, draw the knee in, rounding the spine. And we'll lower that right knee down. Rock a little from side to side, kind of stretching those outside areas of the hip. Coming back to the center, softening the elbows, head extends out, belly draws up. Reach back with the left leg, dropping that left hip so the hips are parallel to the mat. Tucking the shoulders, lifting the heart. If it feels okay, lift the leg a little higher, keeping that right hip stacked over the right knee. And if it feels okay, extending that right arm out. We'll lower the hand down, rounding the spine, drawing the belly muscles up as you draw the knee in. Lowering the knee down. Again, a little rocking from side to side. Tuck the toes under, press the hips up and back, downward dog. About pressing one heel down and then the other, stretching the back of the legs. Pressing back through the hips, heels floating down softly, head between the arms with the chin away from the chest. Gently roll the shoulder blades back toward each other a little bit as well. And let's bring the knees down. And we'll step forward with our right foot. Making sure the right knee is stacked over the right ankle. We're going to press back with the right hip and forward with the left. Think about dropping down through the front of the left hip, but keeping those hips aligned with the front of the mat. Letting go a little more, really focusing on the hips. Keeping the spine nice and long, softening through the front of that left hip. If you would like a block or anything under your hands for support, please feel free to add that. Then we're going to tuck the toes of that back foot under and gently lift the knee off of the floor. Sometimes that right hip wants to pull forward here, so pull it back, let the left hip come forward, soften through the front of the left hip. You can keep the knee off the floor or drop it back down as we bring that right hip back, lengthening through the back of the right leg. If it feels okay, you could let the spine come down a little further. And notice if the right hip kind of wants to swing out to the side, tuck it under, reach straight back from it. And we'll bring the left knee back down, bring that right knee back. And let's step forward with the left leg. So again, we're going to bring that left knee stacking over the left ankle. Think about squaring those hips so the left hip presses back, right hip presses forward. And gently begin to drop the right hip down, softening. So we're not really worrying about the upper body, except for to keep it kind of nice and long, but it's really focusing on the front of that right hip. Letting go a little more with each out breath. And we'll tuck the toes of the back foot under. If it feels okay, you can lift that knee off the floor. Again, bringing that right hip forward, left hip back, and then dropping the hip down. And then again, you can either have the knee down as you rock that left hip back or keep the knee in the air, just depending on what feels okay for you right now. Tucking that left hip under, not letting it swing out to the side as you reach back through it. Lengthening the spine, holding over the leg if that feels okay. And then let's drop that back knee down. We're going to step forward, coming into Uttanasana, forward bend. If you'd like something under your hands, please do that, or have the hands on the shins or knees. We're going to soften the knees, dropping those hips down. And let's come into Utkatasana chair pose. As we engage the quads, think about engaging both the inner and outer quads. And when we engage the quadriceps, it helps us release those hamstrings. So lifting the heart, hands to the heart, actively pushing into the feet. Shoulders are back and down. If it feels okay, you could also bring the elbows out to cactus pose or arms over the head, just listening to your body, doing what feels comfortable, yet a little bit challenging, just not moving into pain. Take one more breath, pushing into those feet, and then we'll fold over. Lengthening through the back of the legs as much as feels okay, really tilting that pelvis forward. And with your next inhale, we'll roll the spine up, lifting the arms up over the head, palms together. Exhale, hands to the heart. And let's work with standing knee to chest as our balance pose. We did this one a couple of weeks ago as well. So if you would like to use the wall for balance, you can have that wall behind you or beside you if you'd like as well. We'll find our balance on both feet, having them about hip width apart, spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lift the toes, spread them wide as you lower them down. Shifting the weight to the left foot, we'll come up onto the big toe of the right foot. Keeping that left knee slightly bent and finding a focus spot for our gaze. You can stay here working on balance by lifting the toes, bending the ankle. If it feels okay, you could lift the knee and interlace the fingers in front of the knee. Notice how sometimes the shoulders want to come forward here, so roll them back and down, lifting the heart. Belly muscles are strong. If it feels okay, you could lift that knee into the chest. And if you'd like to work with extending the leg, you can either bring the hands behind the thigh or underneath the foot, extending the leg out in front of you. You can also use a strap here. If anyone wants to play with bending over, you can do that too. You just have to change your focus spot, which makes it a little tricky. And then as we did last time, we can also add in a twist if you would like. You can bring the hand on the outside of the knee, or if your foot is down, it's on the outside of the thigh, or on the outside of the foot. Reach the right arm behind you and slowly bring your vision toward the hand. And then we'll gently come back to the center and lower down. I think I held that one a little too long. All right, we'll come back to find our balance on both feet. Spine tall, shoulders back and down, belly strong, knees soft. Lifting the toes, spreading them wide as you lower them down. And shifting our weight to the right leg, up onto the big toe of the left foot. Finding focus spot for our gaze. Again, you can work with balance by lifting the toes. If it feels okay, you can bring that knee up, interlacing the fingers in front of the knee. Shoulders are back and down, belly is strong. Stay here or bring the knee into the chest. Or again, add that extension if you would like. Hands either under the thigh or under the foot as you extend out. Or using a strap here at the foot. And if you'd like to add the twist, again, bringing the hand on the outside of the knee, outside of the thigh, or outside of the foot. Let's see if I can do that one this time. Reaching the left arm behind, gently turning the vision toward the left hand. And gently either tipping over or coming down. All right, let's spread our legs nice and wide. We'll turn the right foot toward the short end of your mat. Left heel drops back. Inhaling the arms out. We'll work with triangle pose. Exhale, pressing that left hip behind you, reaching the right arm out, floating the hand down toward the leg or a block or the floor. Left arm comes up toward the sky or to the low back. We want to rotate the torso to face the wall in front of us. So if we're kind of down facing the floor, we can lift up a little higher so we get that nice opening through the chest. Think about releasing these hamstrings of the right leg through tilting the pelvis. Press actively into both legs. The back leg sometimes wants to just hang out. We want it to help us out. Pushing into the feet with your next inhale, lift up tall. And exhale, float the hands down. We'll switch legs. So the left foot points toward the short end of the mat, right heel drops back. Inhale, the arms out at shoulder height. Exhale, pressing that right hip back, reaching with the left arm, and then floating it down to the leg. Right arm comes up toward the sky or to the low back. Again, thinking about rotating the torso to face the wall in front of you. So we're perpendicular to the floor. Lengthening through these left hamstrings by tilting the pelvis gently, lengthening through the side body. And if we can let the legs do the work, the hands just resting there, even if you have a block, really trying to have the legs doing the work, and the arms are like we're flying. And with your next inhale, let's press into the feet, lift up tall, and float the hands down. We'll bring both feet to face the long end of the mat in that wide stance, just as wide as feels comfortable for you. If you'd like to have a block in the center or something to put your hands on, please do that. And with your next inhale, sweep the arms up, lifting the torso up out of the pelvis. As you exhale, swan dive, hips out behind you, hands float down onto the floor or block underneath the shoulders. Soften the knees, making sure the legs aren't, or the knees aren't locked. Pushing into the feet, lift up gently through the sitting bones. Tilting the pelvis forward, letting the head come down if that feels okay. We'll walk the hands over toward the right leg. Hands can be on the floor, block, or leg. Gently turning the torso to face the thigh as you lengthen down over the leg. Then we'll gently walk the arms across, coming to the left leg, hands on the floor, block or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down. Coming back to the center. Let's walk the feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. Softening those knees, lifting up through the sitting bones. If you'd like to use a block, you can place that in the center behind the heels. We'll gently begin to bend the knees into Malasana squats. You can work with the hips higher, or if it's okay for your knees, you can come down lower toward the block or heels. And if neither of those positions is comfortable, you can come all the way to the floor, walk the feet a little further out, pressing the elbows or upper arms into the knees or thighs, working on opening those hips here. Lengthening through the spine, shoulder blades are tucked back and down. Holding as long as feels comfortable. And when you're ready, you can come the rest of the way down. And you can either meet in Baddha Konasana with the soles of the feet together, or if it feels okay, you could work with double pigeon or fire log. That's where we're stacking the ankles and knees on top of each other. If you want a little extra support, you can add a blanket or pillow or block underneath the top leg. So I have my left one on top at the moment, so whichever works best for you right now. Again, if you want to stay in Baddha Konasana, it's a little, it's not quite as hard on the knees. So lengthening the spine, softening the shoulders. Think about letting the sitting bones drop into the earth, really feeling that root connect. Lengthening through the crown of the head. From either position, gently tilting forward, leading with the heart. And bring the hands out if you'd like, if you're in double pigeon. Think about softening wherever you feel tightness or tension. Easing around it. You may feel some release in the low back as well. And then we'll gently lift up. We'll switch our legs if you're in fire log or double pigeon. Sorry, can't use my words very well today. If you are in Baddha Konasana, butterfly, you can either move into cross-legged or stay in butterfly as we lean forward once again, tilting that pelvis, rooting through the sitting bones, leading with the heart. Just finding that edge. Holding there for a moment and then releasing around it, seeing what happens. We often just try to push through those edges in our lives, and get to take a moment to just notice what happens when we release around it instead of pushing through. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. And we'll come back to a cross-legged position. Oh, wow. Time. I wasn't paying as much attention to the time. I apologize. So let's go ahead and we'll extend or lay back into Shavasana. If you want to bring the knees in first and just kind of make some small circles or do a little twist, please feel free to do that. And when you're ready, extending out, feet about hip width apart, or having the knees bent, feet at the edges of the mat and resting the knees together, or having a bolster underneath your knees. Allow the arms to rest away from the body with the palms turned up. And tuck the shoulders back and down. Relax your forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Bring your awareness to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Release the muscles from the bones, surrendering them to the earth. Feeling its strength and support beneath you. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself, sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body, honoring all of who you are in this moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes and stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, you can roll to your side and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. I'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Well, thank you all so much for joining me today.